Welcome to another episode of Creative Mind on Flockside TV, the show where business meets with creativity. We bring to you in-depth conversation with remarkable individuals in their industries. Get ready to uncover inside stories and strategies that have actually shaped their success and discover how you can apply that to your day-to-day activities. My name is Heritage Oyedepo, and today I have with me Opeyemi Adsehina, the CEO of Adeshina Assets. He is the founder and chairman of Adeshina Assets, a holding company with subsidiaries in real estate and hospitality, financial services, and media. Good day, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Yeah, the man with the black brand.
Well, I just like to feel comfortable.
So black makes you comfortable.
Yeah, I don't have to think about to wear.
Okay. Who is Opeyemi Adsehina?
Accommodation is just a normal guy, normal Nigerian, who loves business, loves to see businesses grow. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, passionate about just building stuff. I strongly believe that entrepreneurship builds societies. So I think that's like the foundation for everything. I don't believe politicians are the ones who build societies actually. They create a friendly environment for entrepreneurs to build. So just that's
Is it a friendly environment?
Yeah, an enabling environment. For example, you're talking about tax, you're talking about infrastructures and things like that. But primarily, I believe entrepreneurs build societies. They build everything we are doing today, right? So love business, loves God. Last one of his family, just a chill guy.
What's it like growing up?
Growing up, I was a very reserved kid. Very, very reserved. Although at a point I was loud, but at a point also I was reserved. So I don't know. Because if different people that meet me at different phases of my life, they are Ope is just a chill guy. So Ope is a troublemaker and things like that. So they met me at different phases. But I've always loved to read. I've always been the smart kid on the block. Right. Teaching tutorials, writing assignments and things like that. Loves poetry. I wanted to be an actor, loves acting. So that's just it growing up.
What was it like? Okay, if that was the case, to you, why did you go into real estate?
So it wasn't just real estate. It was first business.
Okay.
All right. At a point, my 200 level, right? So I needed to make extra money. The money I was getting from was not cutting it again in school. And so I think that was the first time I tried to make money. Shout out to my brother's wife. She just told me that, you can be buying clothes in Ogunpa and selling it in school. And as a sharp guy, I'll buy polo t-shirts, 500, 600 in Ogunpa or Agbeni. I'll take it to and sell for 2,500 naira. So I was making money. I was now becoming a big boy. So that was how I started. Then it grew into writing assignments, doing projects and things like that. Grew into selling snacks, selling clothes, selling shoes, just selling anything that I can lay my hands on. Then I started learning skills, also graphics design, video editing. So basically, I just wanted to make money. Right?
What has Opeyemi Adsehina has not done before?
I think one of the things gift I have is that, there's anything I can do right now, I just want to be the best at it. So that's just me. So when I was in NTA, I just wanted to be the best at video editing. That's why I learned Premiere Pro. When I started learning graphics design also, I just wanted to be the best at it. So part-time, whatever I just have in my front to do, I just want to be the best at it.
Growing up, I felt like if you're selling anything in school, you're poor. To me.
But I was poor. So why am I was poor. So if I'm selling even if I'm not selling.
I never sold anything in school. I thought if I see people selling, I'm like, you're poor.
But I'm poor now. If I'm not selling the thing, I'm poor. If I'm selling it, I'm poor. So let me not sell and know that. So it has always been, even as a graduate, I hawked potato chips in Songo. I hawked headphones in Mokola. And I graduated top of my class. So I've always just, if you think I'm poor, help me. If you cannot help me, shut up. Let me say whatever it's down to sell.
I'm shutting up.
So for me, that's I really care less what people have to say about me. And I think that's really what, even till today, hardly would you see us replying any comments, whether positive or negative, on any of our content. It's your opinion.
True.
So really,
I understand better now. Even me, I'm selling something. I understand better right now. But growing up, do you have anybody, probably a mentor?
Oh yes.
Who has actually shaped you?
I used to say that I grew up with no background. There's humble background. Me, I didn't have any background.
There was no
It was that
background.
bad. Yeah, it was that bad.
Dad,
Um,
mom.
no, what I mean is that bottom of the barrel. Okay, my dad is late, so my
He's
dad
a
died when I was like
memory.
1 year old. So it was just my mom and my brother. At the point, things was quite good. When my brother had I don't know, one job like that. But at the point, he lost it, so we're back to square one again. And you know, there are some lectures I would have loved to give. For example,
Please
do you know
spill.
what they call Ewedu Alasepo?
Yes,
That
I
you have to go
know.
on for like 3 days.
The
Okay.
face, the face would have changed. It's not going to draw
Exactly, you
again.
get what I'm trying to say. So it was, and then if you don't walk, you don't eat. Sometimes I remember when I was doing tutorial center, you have to walk and save. Sometimes, for example, maybe I'm hawking walnuts, Hausa, right? And maybe my mom would put five and sell it for 50 naira. I already arrange it to 4 and sell it for 70 naira. Because I needed to make extra money and I can't take from the one my mom is making because I needed to pay for maybe book or something in school. So those were the places I started to learn. And so growing up, I was coming from that background, right? And the richest guy or the richest person in my entire neighborhood, I think, had Nissan Primera, one 1990 something car like that, and that was like my dream. So when I was about to enter university, that it's actually not that far when I was about to enter university. Okay, so I had an uncle that we used to go there for holidays. Not every time, but we used to go there. So I'm coming from a place where the day we are rich is the day we are eating panla. That's the day like everywhere is soft.
What's it like Christmas? During Christmas?
Okay, growing up, what's it called? It was mixed, Christian, Muslim, and things like that. So Christmas is regular day. You eat rice, you go and sleep. Well, nobody's.
Because I know during Christmas, that's when we eat probably the best of the best food. We eat
Christmas
pounded
day
yam
is
and the
still
likes.
amala, you still eat. Who has who has chicken money? So basically, leaving that background to now going into my uncle's place, and you are waking up to see like 5 cars in the compound. I remember at 9, 8, I was questioning, is my uncle a ritualist? Because that's the only, if you watch Nollywood, people that have money, they always have something in their cupboard. So that was the narrative in my mind. I'm like, I hope this man will not use me for ritual, something like that. But thankfully, because you asked that what really led to this.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he has a study in his house. I've always loved to read. I've always been ahead of my classmates because I would read. There's a place we put all my elder siblings' books. So I would have read ahead of the class I was getting. So I had the promotion, right? So when I got there and I saw a room full of books, it was like a breakthrough for me. I just started to read. I didn't have any reason why I was reading. I was just reading. So I was reading books on finance, books on marriage. I remember there was time I was reading books on pregnancy. I know what dilation means. I was just reading. I was just hungry to just read. I didn't even know readers are leaders. That's the funny part. So it's not like I knew what I was doing. So basically, I was just reading, and then I think that was where my eyes started to open. That actually people can grow from nothing to something. I started reading books of the likes of Nnamdi Ezegbo of Slots, Africa Rise and Shine of Jimovia of Zenith Bank, the likes of Miles Monroe, the likes of Les Brown, the likes of Robert Kiyosaki, the likes of Donald Trump. I started just reading all those books, and it's like you're now seeing light. So that was first where I knew that, what. And then I had one very crazy audacity. If I read it, I want to do it. If I read it, I want to test it out. I don't want to believe that what you're saying is true. So that was what really now opened my eyes to now start exploring a lot of things at the same time.
A quick one. You actually said you read about pregnancy, and I'm sure you've actually not said this to the public. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
I need to ask that question.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Now, what better roundtable with Adeshina?
Okay. So I've always, everything I know, because I read a lot and I learn a lot. So that, and then the people I live with in my house, most time when I'm talking, they're looking at me like a nerd. Like, okay,
You are a nerd. You are.
I don't think I'm a nerd. So they're just like, let's just have fun, just normal, what my age mate should be doing. But I was not finding those things interesting to do. I wanted to become a billionaire. At 14, let me tell you, at 14, I was Googling crazy things 14-year-olds were doing. So I was born my brother's phone. I would see that there was a 14-year-old professor. So at 14, I was feeling like a failure. That's how crazy it was. So at 14, I was like, what am I doing in my life? See my mates, a professor. I was seeing a 14, as at then there was one guy, one 14-year-old that I think got $100,000 in business grants, and me, I was chasing one nonsense girl like that. So I was just like, I was so, everything my mates were doing till date, I still don't have any interest in any sport. I don't know football, I don't know anything like that. So at that time that all my mates were trying to lure me, they were trying to say something, I didn't find it interesting. So I turned to, during COVID, so I've always wanted to just share what I know. That's what led me to taking tutorials. So when I go to my tutorial centers, when teacher is not in class, I want to share something with them. Do you know that this? Do you know that this? Do you know that this? So I started to just talk. So it grew into a YouTube channel during COVID. I started reviewing books, right? It started 2019 actually, when I came home after my exam. So I started reviewing books on YouTube. So I just wanted to share what I know with people, or what I've tried that worked with people. And then it grew into an online WhatsApp session. So I used to do WhatsApp classes for people, and people started giving testimonials. I have a number of people that made their first million, through what I've shared with them and things like that. So it grew into me now wanting to build a community of people around it. And it has taken several shapes. I started holding conferences as far back as 2021, in a hotel in Lagos Continental. Even when I was an employee earning 75,000 naira, I'll save up just to go and hold. They've locked me up in transport before. This
What
is exclusive.
What
This is
happened?
exclusive.
I'm interested.
So, someone was supposed to buy property. So he had filled form and he said he was going to make payments. So my commission from that sale was what I was supposed to use to host the dinner. And dinner was free. Because my trainings have always been free. Dinner was free. So it was supposed to be that people come, then I'm able to close maybe one or two of them. So I actually close people from the dinner. Like I make sales also from dinner, but they don't pay immediately. So the guy said, don't worry, I'll pay before 7. So I told people there's dinner. Everybody came, they ate, the guy did not pay. So everybody left. It was me and my co-founder then. And because I knew that he didn't have the confidence, I didn't tell him. So I lied to him that the money was in my account. So when he discovered that the money was in my account, he was mad. Then we could not leave. Transcorp had closed then. So they took us to security guy. Security guy took us to their... That's when I knew they had this underground security base. We were there till like 3 a.m. So it was also one of these I used to talk about social capital. It was just one guy, was just one of my mentee, or so to say, just said, I'm in a fix. Do you have this amount of money? And he said, sure, Adeshina, no problem. And he sent me the money and we got out of there. Although the person paid the next morning, that's the client.
Okay.
But they almost locked us up, sha. So I've always just wanted to do things like that, build a community together, just see people grow as much as I'm growing also. Because I've just realized that only few people actually rise. And it's not just about the fact that, for example, as all this I'm saying now, different people are going to watch and are going to get different things from it.
True.
So in the next 1-2 months, someone will say that thing helped me, and someone will still watch and nothing will change. So I really wanted to create an intentional community where I'm actually seeing that people actually grow. It's even what bettered our project, that it's a community of actually like minds where we have weekly meetings, hang out and things like that. So it's just me just wanting to build a community. Your network is your network. So instead of me waiting to have the network, I want to build the network myself.
Your network is a network.
Yeah, it's
I got that. You've always been giving out to people, you've been dashing out information, and a lot of people have actually been getting from you.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated during difficult times?
There
are times your strength will not be able
how
to
do you
take
conclude that I stay motivated?
Because you're only showing up.
Oh, well, okay. To be honest, let me say something. Showing up, you can put a structure around it.
Okay.
For example, some of my stuff is here. I'm not involved in posting on my videos. The same time you are seeing it, the same time I'm seeing it too. I don't know how it's posted. Right? So there's structure around those things. So even the days that I'm down, people that are posting, we post. It doesn't, even when I've not talked to them for three days, they are still doing their, everybody still thinks Adeshina is still recording. No, I'm not. Most of the videos you're watching, the video that will come out tonight, I've recorded it since 2 weeks, since March 1st or March 8th or something. So there's structure around me always showing up. But when it comes to me staying motivated in difficult times, to be honest, I'm just getting better at it because I'm a melancholic. So I overthink, things get to me a lot. So you could see that there will just be days when I'll just be reserved. I'll just not talk to anybody, right? Just be on my own. I can sit there in a spot for like hours and I'm just there just thinking and things like that. But then one thing that really helped me is that I revisit my goals, or I watch people that inspired me to get started in the first place. For example, one thing you always see me do, once you see me watch Donald Trump documentary, there's a documentary on Netflix called Trump. Once you see me watch it, or watch Wall Street, when you see me watching all those things I've watched before, watch again, something is wrong with me. So when I watch those things and I see those guys the way they are moving, it's like iron sharpening iron. It just ignites that hunger in me. I'm like, you know what, we die here, let's go again, let's do something. I'll just call another staff meeting, this direction we are going again. So I try to put all those things in place so that constantly when I want to feel down, I'm motivated. Sometimes, don't let me lie and say I get to it immediately. Sometimes it takes days, right? That maybe like I just 24 hours, I'm just not in the office, I'm not saying anything to my team. But because there's structure around the office, they don't need me to run. So the media guy knows what he has to do, the account knows the things to go to clients. So those structure helped me that my own weakness doesn't spill over to the business, right? So that's why I can always show up even when things are not right with me.
Okay. So is that how you balance your personal life with your business and other investments? Or there's actually another strategy to that?
Basically, I say my life revolves around my business, in all honesty. All right. If I'm not doing something in my business, maybe I'm in church. If I'm not in church, maybe I'm watching a movie. I don't have any other life outside. I don't watch ball. I don't play games. I really don't have anything. If I'm on my laptop, I'm reading. And if I'm reading, that means I'm reading so that I can have something to share. I'm picking a course. Currently, I'm doing a BS and an MBA together. So everything I'm doing just revolves around my business, basically. So I don't think I have a separate life. When I wake up in the morning, my prayer point is business. My everything is, even me giving is route to business CSR. So I really don't have a detached life. That's why if anything is wrong with me personally, it will definitely spill over if I don't have all those structures in place that people can actually do the things when I'm not there.
What are the key factors you can tell people to build a successful business? In the sense that I remember one of a video you actually spoke about, if you have 0 naira now, you can build up a business
of 10 million naira
in 1 week. It's mind blowing. How would you in 1 week build a business of 10 million naira?
Now, I'm talking from Opeyemi Adsehina of today.
Not of yesterday.
There was a time when the first thing is, where will I even see people that will pay me 10 million naira? So as of today, I can wake up in the morning and reach out to maybe 3 people and raise 50 million naira or more. But 2019, maybe the max I can raise is 50,000 naira. So when I'm talking, that's why people should learn to listen within context. When I say I can raise 10 million naira in 1 week, it's Opeyemi Adsehina of 2025 that is talking. Oh. So it took me time to build that credibility to get here, right? So it's not that since there I started. No, I told you as a guy that I sold potato chips. If I ask someone that will 10 million, would I go and sell potato chips? I won't, right? So I would say for someone who wants to be successful in business, especially if you're just starting out, number one, know that your business is not you. That's one of the mistakes we make.
Okay.
A lot of us are self-employed. We don't own a business. You own a business when you own a system. For example, we have a new project in Ibadan. I've only been to the site once or twice. But the time they were putting banner, they are doing the survey. It's not my business. The guy that would do it is there. So there's structures you put when you know that this business and me, we are two different entities. Right? And I have to create a system whereby there are people that can get it running without me. So that what I bring is leadership and vision casting. So my own job, I can't know how to handle social media like my staff does. I don't know how to do graphics or videos like my staff does. My own is to create a system whereby they work together without me. My own is to tell them this is where we are going. Then let's go, and provide the resources for them to go to it. Right. So without that, if I'm the one that you say, you design this, you put this on here, you put this on here, no, I'm self-employed. They're just working under a self-employed person. I'm still self-employed.
So how do you get the fundings for all of this? I'm an entrepreneur, you're advising me now.
It's not at once. You grow. I didn't start with, for example, let me tell you something. I don't know if I've said it publicly before. I used to have, as at 2021, I had 14 staff. And it was a total disaster.
What happened?
Because it failed. Number one, I was still self-employed here. Right? So most times I'll give them something to do. They won't do it. I'll go and do it myself. Because I had the skill. And then, so I was owing salaries. In fact, when I got into real estate, bulk of my commission went into paying salaries of people I was owing. Because there was no structure. There was nothing, and things like that. So when I restarted now, it was just one person at first, then grow to 2 people, then 3 people, then we grew from there. So it's not that you want to start with everybody at once. No, 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 no. There are times when it's still you and one person, 2 people, then but as you keep expanding, make sure you are relieving yourself of some duties.
And you're building a structure.
Exactly. And you're building a structure for them to work effectively. So what you do basically is that you set vision and you review whether what you set for them is being implemented.
Okay.
Not that you are the one running the business.
Okay. So how do I identify the best business for me? Because a lot of people, entrepreneurs, they've actually ventured into different business and it crashed. How am I so sure and say, okay, this business would lead to success for me?
There's no way to know.
There's no way to know. So that means to just try it?
So it's not just trying it. You see, we are growing every day.
True.
That's a fact we should know. Even Dangote, as big as he is, hope you know, he started a noodles company and failed. Is it that he does not know business?
It does.
So how come he failed? So there are certain things that you find a problem to solve, not a product to sell. I was working in a corporate organization whereby we only have break 1 hour every day. And I noticed that at the end of the day, maybe after break, people come and ask me, do you have chewing gum? I'm saying no. Oh, do you have sweet? Do you have anything I can chew? So I'm like, just ask me today. Just ask me yesterday. I said no problem. So I went to there's a mall opposite UI.
Sharp man.
So I bought a pack. I just bought different, stuffs. I took it to the office. Then as we were coming, I was giving them. As we were coming, I was giving them. I said nice. So the next time, what I now did was, I just branded just a normal box. Then put different things there: cake, chewing gum, sweets, gala, just yama inside it. Then I took it to the office, about 5 or so, about 5. Then one of them came and said, do you have something I can try? I said, I actually have a snack that you can buy. And you can keep in the office for maybe 1 week and it will last you. It will just 1,500 naira. And he said, oh, that's nice. And he bought one. Now, I just had to sell that to people in my office and just make a couple extra bucks. Until I realized that people don't have discipline. So they are buying the snacks pack to eat for 1 week, but they'll finish it that day. So tomorrow they'll come back again. So one person was giving me about 5,000 every week. And the snacks packs that I was buying was just... So it was a problem I was solving. It was an opportunity I just saw. And I started. It wasn't that I just said, let me start selling snacks packs. And that's why some of us we struggle. Right? Because we just find a product to just try to sell. There's no... Now, when you see a problem to solve, what you are seeing is that there's a gap. There's a need already that people are already looking for. Then you feel it. Simple.
If I'm filling up a gap, how do I get people? How do I get my networking right for people to keep buying? Okay, let's say when you left the organization, were you still selling the business?
Before I even left, before I left there, I already started posting on my status. So people in banks around, since this one have this problem, you know there is a general problem. If these people need something to chew, these people in other organizations also need something to chew. But it's just the same way you watch a video online and you can relate to it. Why? If it's affecting this person, it's affecting you too. You get? So if you can see that's affecting this set of people, there's a high probability that there are a lot of other people that you don't even know that is affecting. So when I start putting it out, others start coming in. I'm telling you, even from school, I started sending to Bowen in Iwo, sending to Lisi, sending to Unilon.
So this is how I can build 10 million naira and get 10 million naira in 1 week.
Really, if you, in 1 month, we made over 3 million. Yeah, in 1 month that I closed, we made over 3 million. It was depression that made me close the business.
Why?
That's why I told you that I'm just learning to manage, right? There was some family drama around my entrepreneurship, right? Because as I then, like 6 months, I've started like 5 businesses. So it was starting, my family did not understand what I was doing anymore. So I was sent out of the house. So that was what killed that business. But it was really a pretty cool business. I made some cool cash.
You actually, there was one of the videos so you spoke about capacity, building capacity, mastery, sweat equity, and the likes. I want to understand as an entrepreneur in a layman understanding. I want to understand.
There's something I often say that employees make better entrepreneurs.
Employees make better entrepreneurs.
You can't convince me otherwise. All these salary is money they pay to forget your dreams. You are working for someone's dream so that I don't believe in it. I don't buy it. Right? Steve Jobs at Apple, he was an employee. Bill Gates was an employee. There are some things you can't learn except you've been in a system. You can't learn structure. They can't teach you on YouTube. You can't learn emotional intelligence. You can't learn how to relate with people. You can't learn how to just see that your staff is not fine. You can't learn. There are some things you just cannot learn except you've worked in a place. Some people don't know what it means to be toxic, to be a toxic boss. But when you've been with a toxic boss, you would know how it feels, so you treat people better. So when it comes to building capacity, like I said, we are growing every day. Right? Most businesses fail, not because it was a bad business, but because the founder does not know what to do right at that time. Just like I was talking about structure now. I didn't have structure for the snacks pack business. It failed. I didn't have structure for the fashion business. It failed. But now, so all those mistakes and failures is what made the Adeshina today that you can say you're invited to come and talk. So most people actually, you fail at one, you quit. Failure lange. Someone said you gym with it. I told you that they locked me up in trans. You can't shame me. They've threatened me with law. They've threatened police. Oh yeah, come and carry me. You see that is legit. So what now happen? You have to. That capacity has to be there. Let me say like this. To be honest, your business goal can happen today. What is delaying it is that the level of knowledge you need to have for you to make it happen today, you don't have it yet. So that time that I'm saying, it takes time to succeed, it takes time to grow. What is taking time is that it's taking time for you to grow, to become the quality of person that can make that result happen. So that time is not because economy is hard. It's not because it's you that the business is waiting for to grow. When you start investing in yourself today to keep growing, you see that your result is faster. I train salespeople and I tell them your result is as fast as you want it to be. Simple. If you want to eat $1 million in 90 days, if you put in the work to grow, to learn, you'll do it. Someone came to stay with me. Okay, for example, I run a business, right? And I consult for businesses. And yet, I just told you now that I posted the certification I just recently got 2 days ago. And someone was like, how are you doing this and you're still learning? Because one thing, I've forgotten the book I learned it from, and it's changed my perspective to things. Work harder on yourself than you work on your job.
Work harder on yourself than you work on your job.
When you work harder on yourself, you are ever valuable to your job. You can't be easily left away. But when you are working harder on your job than on yourself, someone else is working harder on the person's self. The person will come tomorrow and is better than you, because you'll be at the same level, even though you are working hard. Right? People don't reward effort. They reward the quality of knowledge behind effort. If you are rewarding effort, the Alabaru will be the richest guys. The people that dig soak away, they'll be the richest guys. Right? But what are people? I train companies, and 3-hour session, I know how much I get paid. Why are they paying me to come and talk to them for 3 hours? It's because they know that there's just something you would say within that 3 hours that can shift us from 100 million to 1 billion. Right? So it's the quality of knowledge behind my standing for 3 hours that they are rewarding, not the talk. So capacity means that I'm giving all due diligence to making sure that I am ever valuable, ever growing. Right? I was telling someone that you are you are a cinematographer, you're working in a firm. Don't compete with another cinematographer in that firm. Who is the number one cinematographer in your country? That's your competition. When you compete with that benchmark, everybody in your firm will be competing against you. Every firm I have worked, it sounds like bragging, but I have never not gotten a job I applied for. I've never been fired. And every job I've gotten, I become a team lead within 6 months. Why? Because before I even get there, number one, I'm hungry. So when I get there, I'm thinking like the CEO. When I get to a place, I'm looking at people that have been there for 5 years. What's their life like? What's their result like? If I like it, I'll start pursuing them. What certification do they have? What are they learning? That's the way I see things. So that hunger, I cannot be benched. I cannot be left behind. So most times when we talk about mastery, when we talk about capacity, it's not something vague. That thing I want to do, that fashion. If I give the first lady of this country your clothes and she gets to see your page, will she be proud? Will she value me? Will she think I value her more? Or will she think that, so you don't even, this is what I'm worth to you? Do you get what I just said?
I got that.
You're selling shoes and I buy your shoes for the president. And the president now comes on your page. Will he say that, so this is what I'm worth? Or will he say, wow, this is what this guy gives to me? Think of your service as that. If someone recommends you to the president, will the president look at the person like, are you okay? when you say, wow, this is the best person we've ever seen. If your value cannot stand that test, keep investing, keep learning, there are a lot of things you can do. Keep watching stuffs, right? There are times I was telling, we have a video on YouTube about 3 hours, and I sent to someone to watch, and after 1 week I asked, Alpha, he said, I'm still watching it. That was the last time I spoke with the person. I have books I read, 400 pages, one sitting. You see, at this point, I don't even read many books anymore, but I can read one good book 5 times. You keep revisiting it. Nothing is free. Nothing. That's just it. All the success. If you think Dangote is wealthy, you probably cannot keep up his work ethic.
True.
It's easy to claim their results. I want to move fellow big. It's easy. Before I ever got on flights, it was a prayer point. Until you start flying like 5 times a week, it's not pleasure. When you are, I was telling someone, I said, when I started flying, it was sightseeing. You're looking at the clouds. Now, before plane take off, you've slept. Because now you are tired from one to the other. And that's how it is. You see someone flying private jet. God, miss one day. That person is not luxury to the person. It's necessity. And if they have time, they will say, I don't want to go on this trip. So really, it's building that weight such that you are like I said, you are 1 meeting away from everything you need.
True.
Keep consuming stuff. It's just as simple as that.
For brand, you spoke about competition and all of that. For brands, do you think we should be leading conversation or we should be chasing competition? Which one should we go for brands? Because I've seen a lot of brands, everybody does almost the same, almost like in the real estate firm. A lot of brands, they are just doing almost the same thing, and some are chasing conversation. Which one do you think a brand should go for? Or do you think they should go for both?
Really, I can't say go for this, but for people who know that it's not just making money, there's a lasting solution we are bringing, there's a legacy we are building. You want to be a thought leader. I tell my guys that it's either we are the only person they know or the best person they know. That has always been my goal. Everything I'm doing is either I'm the best person you will ever see or I'm the only person you know in that niche. Right? So when you think like that, you can't be saying the same thing the other person is saying. Olamide said, Olema should be everybody. Don't have to be everybody. You can't be doing like everybody if you don't want to be like everybody. You have to just think differently. And it doesn't mean that we can be doing the same thing, but the way we execute my own, or the way we package it, or the way we talk about it, people will think that my own is 10 times better than your own. And it's the same thing. Right? So but it's all about what you, like I tell people, your brand is a spillover of who you are. The way you
sell your brand is a spillover of who I am.
The way you sell your business, I know that actually in real life you are not a serious person. You are not. In fact, there's a way you do business. I can't toast you because you are not. You are carefree. You do things. You are shabby. Personally, there was a time. This was years ago. I went to buy something from a woman, myself and my friend, and she just gave us. I think it was bread without nylon, and my friend was angry. And I said, "Calm down. Look at where she's eating." So she was eating bread. It was out of nylon and it was on the floor, and she was tearing from the floor and putting inside tea. And she was eating. I said, that's how she treats herself. She's not wicked. That is who she is. It's not wicked. So many people are like that. The way they treat you as customer service, they are not wicked. That's the way they talk to themselves. That's the way they carry themselves too. So you expecting them to do better for you is impossible. Right? So when I know that this is who I am, this is how valuable I am. And let me tell you something. There's a way you invest in yourself that you will know how valuable you are. There's a way you carry yourself that actually you've not spent much. You've not sacrificed much for yourself. No. The first time I charged 200,000 for consulting was after I paid 300,000 to learn. There's a way I finished the course. I wrote the exam for 12 hours. You can't tell me to come and speak to you from after that rigor and you tell me it's free or something. No. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
So there's a way you actually, what's it called? Know that you are valuable. Recognize your value. That it affects everything. You don't want to be number 2. Like I've sacrificed too much to be number 2. I must be number 1. And it determines how you present, how you sell, how you package, how you do everything. because you are carrying yourself delicately. But when you know that it's just 1-2-5 class you attended and you don't really know much about what you're doing, then you sell yourself also cheap. So if you really invest in yourself, you can never present yourself. You don't want to compete. You want people to be competing with you. You don't want to. No. You are in the business of setting standards. People are not looking at you as the benchmark, right? Let me just stop it at that.
No, please go.
So you are like a benchmark for people in your niche, people in your industry. Personally, in fact, if you check all my closest friends, minimum they are 4 years older than I am. Minimum. All my friends, maybe only 1 or 2 of them are not married. Like people that are closest to me. And on the average, most of them are richer than I am. So when you think I'm competing with you, you deceive yourself. I have people that I'm pursuing. So I'm not even seeing. We recently got a photographer to come and work for us, and he said, "So what are the kind of things you want?" I think I said just one line: "Don't illuminate standard." Simple. I said if I can't look at it and I'm seeing airs holding standard, I said you are not talking to me. So you that are down starting, you are selling one, you not think I'm looking at it to copy you? No. Do you know what I read? I read another report of billion-dollar companies. I'm looking at what their strategic decisions are for the next year. That's what I consume. I'm not reading 3 ways to sell on YouTube. No. So the way you want to present, that means what you also consume. Right? So basically that's it.
You speak a whole lot of grammar. And okay, a quick one. Let's dive into real estate now.
Okay.
Real estate is actually creating a lot of buzz. And back then, we actually had a lot of buzz during agriculture. People should go into farming and all of that. Yeah. Then later, it's going into gold. People should invest in gold and all of that. What do you think about real estate right now?
So, the last time I talked about real estate, they dragged me by the ear. But I'm used to it now. Real estate is not independent. It's not an independent sector. It's just as if you are talking about food business. That's saying we are talking about real estate business. So there's food business, there's quick service restaurants, Chicken Republic and Co. There is what we call what do they call these ones? Is it a la carte? There's buffet. There are all those kind of restaurants like that. So the fact that they are food businesses doesn't mean the fact that they are successful food businesses doesn't mean I just put my money into any food business. And I'll break it down. When you want to do land banking, the goal of land banking is that you are buying bulk land. I intentionally put that bulk land. That means that before you can say you are doing land banking, you are doing 1 hectare, you are doing 5 acres, you are doing 10 acres. And for you to do that, it means that you have a lawyer, right? And most times, land bankers don't buy from developers. And I do not apologize for that statement. Land bankers do not buy, real land bankers do not buy from developers. They are the ones who go and buy expanse of land. They are the ones who go and perfect the title. That's why land bankers work hand in hand with lawyers. The real land bankers, as far as I'm concerned, is the real estate developers. So all these own land, and I'll get there. What is a real estate developer expected to do? Create a project, develop a project. That means if you name your project something estate, what you should sell is the features of that estate that will make it desirable for me to want to live in or own a piece of property in, not because real estate is a good investment. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the features.
As a developer, I'm not selling. Do you know that the best investment on earth is that? That's not what I'm selling. I should sell what I am developing. Oh, I'm building this kind of estate. This kind of estate. This is what you have. This is what you have. Now, you will fall in love with that project because that is now a business. So, as an investor, if you are coming, you are thinking, if I have a property here and someone wants to come and build there, they will buy from me. It will be premium. It will be this. It will have demand. If I build rental apartment here, these are the kind of people that will be my tenants. These are the kind of community if I live there. So, I'm buying the project, not just real estate. Right? I don't just say, why do I buy shares? I don't just say, okay, I wake up on because it is good to own shares. Let me just buy any shares. No, I'm looking for what profitable business do I buy? The same thing I want to invest in real estate is what profitable real estate project do I invest in? If it's just land banking, you have no problem. You have no what's it called, business with whether there's a project there. It's just you saying, okay, there's a there's a development going to this area. Let me go and buy 10 acres there, 100 acres there to land bank. In fact, real land bankers are the ones who sell to developers.
Real land bankers.
They don't buy from developers. Real land bankers are the ones who sell. Who are those selling Ibejuleki to developers? They are the real land bankers. So as a developer, you are coming because you have a project to build. Not because you are now say, come and buy land from me. I should buy land from a developer because I like the concept that you are building. Not because land is the best investment on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So many people who are supposed to be building capital or investing in themselves are taking that trinku because they want to become landlord. Have you not seen broke landlords?
Yes, I have.
Have you not seen landlord that they cannot eat until you pay their tenant? Is that so? What's the come and become a landlord is a fantasy sold to poor people.
Fantasy to so.
It's fantasy to poor people.
I'm gonna drink to that.
It's not. It doesn't make any sense because you can own a land and still sell at distress price and you're back to square one. I have people every single day. I want to sell this land. I want to sell this land, and I'm looking at them. Okay, you have this land, but you are broke. So how does that not make you wealthy? And what the mistake we make is that many young people, they are using strategy of people that are buying for inheritance. So people that are buying land, they are buying because number one, they have enough money to throw anywhere. They can buy anything. Number two, they are buying for their children. You that you are at the stage of wealth creation, you're also buying because you think.
Should I not buy for my children?
When you have enough disposable income, you are at the level. There's wealth creation. There's wealth retention. Are you at wealth retention yet? Wealth retention means you already have profitable business or businesses, or you are at the peak of your career. You have enough income. So it is the disposable one that you can say, let me finance other third-party businesses. So I can either put it in another business, or let me now say, let me invest in rental properties, or let me now buy land. That land is not your strategy to become rich. It's just a way to just have assets. It's just a way to just retain your wealth. That if anything happens, I have rainy day funds. I have rainy day assets. Or for my children. In fact, when you check the Bible, we quote it a lot, that God give land. God did not give land to make you landlord. He gave you land as capital. Because the occupation of the day was agriculture. It was a capital that God gave you. So do business with the land. It's not so that you can say, now I'm a landlord, I own this place. No, God is not. Now. Go and check Isaac. What was it? The Bible says he sold in the land. The same year, he reaped 100. He did not say, I'm a landlord. Abraham had cattle. So he need land. So how many of us have land that we are doing? I told you now, land is supposed to be a constant factor in every economic activity. Now, we just have land because we want to own land. No, it's supposed to be a constant factor in an economic activity. Either you are developing a residential estate, a commercial estate, or you are using it for agriculture, or you are holding it as an asset for your children or for wealth retention. Not that you are 24, you are just making some few cash. All your goal is now, let me your own land. If you are young and you pay to get a new certification, that certification is not less of value than a plot of land. It is also an investment because that certification is now going to help you earn more money. That's an investment. You go back to school, that's an investment. It's not less than land. Right? You invest in your business for expansion, it is not less than a piece of property. Go to our social media page, you see that we sell our projects. We'll tell you, for those who change things, that's people we are building a country estate for. We are building, he said country estate we sell. We don't say come and buy land, come and buy. We sell the projects. And that's how a developer should sell. Go and check Donald Trump. He sells Trump Tower. He sells luxury golf courses, luxury golf estates. That's how it should be.
But most of these real estate agents will be like, if you're not a landlord, you're wrong.
They're salespeople, they want your commission. You don't take investment advice from salespeople. They themselves, I've worked in companies where even the top sales guys don't own the piece of property they're selling. Some do, but guess what? Even those who do, is that what contributes to them being wealthy? Let me give you an example. Let me just say this now. A developer will buy land now and will resell and make maybe profits that same year. But you have to wait for years to make the profit. The developer is almost at your level, is also at the level of wealth creation, and he's creating wealth. But you also need to use that money to fuel your business. You are also using the same strategy and buying and waiting on God. And it's also one thing I've noticed, that many people are just looking for get rich quick scheme that looks legit. So they are buying land, hoping that one day they'll sell it for 2 billion. You sell it for this, you sell it for that. And it doesn't work like that. For example, people say you missed a banana land somewhere. Banana land was never cheap. Eco Atlantic was never cheap. Aerodrome was never cheap.
True.
Kolapo Shola was never cheap. It was never cheap. If you say it wasn't for this, go and check that time. People that could afford it were people that still also had, like I said, people that already have their businesses or they have good job. But you can't have a good job if you've not invested in yourself. You can't build a business if you've not invested in the business. Such that even when developers sell estate, they will be selling to people who can afford it. They won't need to give unnecessary long payment plan. They won't need to give unnecessary discount because they'll be selling the quality of the project they are building. Right? And the people who fall in love with the project that would buy, and they will buy with joy. They will buy not minding the price. I'll just leave it at that.
No, I don't want you to leave it at that.
Let me leave it at that.
So what's the one thing I need to avoid if I want to go into real estate?
Firstly, do you want to invest in real estate as a business?
Yes.
Good. If it's as a business, maybe become a realtor or you to buy land and resell.
Okay.
That's land retailing, right? But if you want to invest in land business, invest in the business of, for example, maybe you are buying what's it called, land, to partner with someone as JV to build on it, to build rental property on it. Because a business means there's revenue. That means if I'm buying land, the goal is to become a rental property to give me, or I'm buying to build to resell income. Not that I'm just buying it to be there. Right? Like that's why I said that even as a young person, investing in your business. Okay, let me give you an example. This is a media firm.
Yes.
There's a way you build this company that you now want to design the architecture of how your media agency is. What does that tell you? Even the company will have a real estate. There's a way you build your business that in 5 years, in 10 years, you would have tons of real estate without you ever saying, I want to own properties. Just by focusing on growing your business. Have you not seen fashion businesses that they will say they want to have the way they design their own showroom and they will buy an entire property? Do they not own properties? Now, if I want to have property in an estate where people that can afford it, for example, I own a fashion business now, and I want to be close to people that can afford to buy my clothes, I will go and buy a commercial property in an estate. But that starts to align with what I'm looking for. So there's a way you focus on what you are doing. You will buy any property you want to buy any day, anytime. Let's kill this pressure. Focus on your business. People that love the project and have the capital would buy. When you also build capital, you will buy the most valuable properties. And when you build capital, if you miss out on this person and you're 30, there will be another emerging locations. When you build capital, instead of you buying one plot now, and that's all the land you ever buy, you'll be able to buy 10 hectares of that one comfortably without feeling it. I love, in fact, as a real estate person, it's easier to close people that have money than sell to people that are poor. They are the one who have questions. I personally, once you are querying me, how much is the budget? 1 million. Don't worry. Don't worry. People that will give me 5 million, 10 million, they will not stress me because it's not their life savings they want to invest. And they will ask correct questions. Some of them, they will send their lawyer. Intelligent conversations. Not, so it's only, it's only some people that you want to invest. Your first question is, what's the title? Is that an investment question? Those are due diligence so basically, let's kill this pressure. See real estate as you invest in any other business. Whether you're investing in Dangote, you're investing, see it as such. And at what point do you invest in it? When you build capital. That means for now, your disposable income should be to invest in yourself to build enough capital. Me, real estate is my own business. You hear that we have 100 acres. It's my business. That is my own. That's what I'm trading. You to focus on your own. When you focus on your own and grow capital, you will buy a unit of my country estate and you buy it with peace and we'll be neighbors. And I will need to give you that 6-month payment plan.
That was a straight bullet. Okay, I've actually had a whole lot. If there's one thing you've actually, if there's one thing you wish you had known before you started all of this, what would it be? Because I want entrepreneurs out there to hear it and listen. And mentorship.
I wish I submitted to someone earlier on.
Okay.
I had my uncle who just look at something I do and pick up this book, pick up that book, pick up this book, take this thing. In fact, when I first started getting speaking engagement, you tell me to go 2 hours earlier. That's why I'm hardly late to my engagement, except something happened. So that's a form of mentorship, but I was not submitted to it. Submission is saying that when you want to do something, you subject it to their review. Sometimes they can't see what you are seeing, so it's not like you are gullibly just taking their yes and no. That sometimes you also rebel against your mentors, and it still goes well. I've had someone tell me that you proved me wrong.
because they are not God. They can make mistakes. But from submitting it to them, they can give you an objective perspective that you are not seeing before. That even if they say this idea will not work, from what they say, you can now know how to do it that it will work. So most times, everybody just wants to become their own boss. Okay, save now. There's some things you just learn. To be honest, there's some things there's some mistakes, there's some money I've lost that if I just stayed as an employee for a longer period of time, I won't lose the money. There are some losses we have tend to be normal losses in business that actually what you are is like a school fees you are paying for the foolishness you fail to learn under somebody. There are some mistakes you would have made in a company as an employee that when you start your business, you can't make the same mistake again. You've learned it, and that one, someone else will learn somewhere. Someone else that will pay for the cost. So to be honest, mentorship. And mentorship is not lobbied. There's a way you follow someone closely. The person picks interest in you. Some many people, they are following 100 people at the same time. And this person is my mentor. This person is my mentor. Is it rolling? You are lying. There should be someone, and the person must be within your reach. At least within your reach on phone call and messages that can reply you. Right? My mentor saved me in time of trouble. That's the truth. There should be people you even easily talk to when you are running into crisis. Your mentor will be able to give you a loan, but don't go to them with asking money.
True.
Some people say they want to mentor them. It's a lie. They want to ask for a giveaway. It's school fees they are looking for. They are not for mentorship. So there's where you submit yourself. You are following diligence. Someone say, no, I need to pay. By themselves, they will commit themselves to you. And what you did not ask, they will give to you. I'm telling you, what you did not ask, they will give to you.
So what inspired you to go into real estate, investment, and other things you do?
Okay, to be honest, it was from a documentary I watched, Too Big to Fail. And I saw how powerful finance is. Right. Most of the problem we have in Nigeria when it comes to business development is actually access to capital also. So I saw how few guys can be so powerful that their mistakes can cause the entire world economy to crumble. Yeah, you can go and watch the documentary. It's actually it's not a movie. It's a real thing that happened. 2008 global housing crisis. That was what happened. And when I saw that, I discovered that finance is so delicate. Like we were talking about real estate now. Someone who is still struggling. I give an example of a friend of mine, like a mentee who was in POS. And he was putting money into a plot of land, all his extra income into a plot of land, installments. And so one day, his POS shops demolished, his house demolished, and he needed urgent bailout. He doesn't have any other savings apart from what he has in land. He can't resell the land because he has not finished paying for it. He cannot withdraw the capital because they tell him to wait for 3 months. And even when he waits for 3 months, they will deduct 30%, which is standard procedure actually. But what does that tell you? This person is not ready for such a long-term investment. You need something that's why you never hear me demonize savings. In fact, you need emergency fund. There's asset rich, there's cash rich. As much as I want to invest in assets, make sure there's cash somewhere. Cash. Leave inflation, have cash. You have an emergency, you won't be looking for who to buy your land in 12 a.m. No, have cash. Even if it's 1K, just have cash somewhere. That anything you want to stop, liquidity can save you a lot of at dangerous times. So when I saw how powerful finance can get and how vulnerable people get when it comes to the area of money, it piqued my interest. And that was what really led me to some certification, some knowledge, some reading. And I'm like, you know what? There's a lot, and real estate being a cardinal factor in, like I said, real estate is a constant factor in every economic activity. Where we are right now is real estate, right? But this is real estate as a business because you are paying rent. That's a business. That's business of real estate. So when I looked at that, I'm like, you know what? There needs to be a way to figure this out and to do it correctly. Because the fact that it has so much power also means that it will be abused. Just like we are abusing it every day. Hope you know that in developed countries, you can't wake up today and say you're a real estate person. You have to go and... One of my friends was telling me that he was trying to write the exam in US. He failed. Because you can't just wake up and say you're a realtor. You cannot. Because I know that my mouth is big, that's why I have to go and get those certification. So that when you say, who are you, sir? I say, yeah, you don't catch me. I have FMVA. I have CBCA. No, there's no standardized real estate school in Nigeria. There's none. So anybody can wake up tomorrow and is a realtor. If they even stop a realtor, it's fine. They will not say they are wealth advisor, they are investment advisor, they are wealth coach. Who made you well? If you are poor, even if you are broke. Even you, and I'm not saying this to this. I've been there too. I was calling myself senior wealth advisor. I even say senior. And I was a salesperson.
So now you introduce to someone that is vulnerable, that doesn't know what is going on. You hear that this is a senior wealth advisor. You are listening. Nice. Now the person is telling you Jack Robinson nonsense, right? So when I looked at all this, I'm like, no, that's to be at least someone that has sense, that can say the right thing, right? And there was a video I did where I talked about the fact that 10,000 naira monthly real estate is not ideal, and they dragged me by the hair. But the truth is the truth. You yourself that you know this 10k land cannot make this person rich, except you just want to, except you've lied so much to yourself that you're starting to believe your own lie. That's the only way you can tell me. That's the only way you can tell me. So finance is so crucial yet so delicate that we understand that this is people's lives at stake. Just imagine that my guy that could not withdraw money is a family man. Just imagine he's married. Just imagine that he's married, he has kids, and his kid does not have, that night that they demolish their place, they don't have anywhere to go, or one of the kids now have emergency in the hospital. So even though he's been working for months and he has money he could have saved up, he will still be like someone that is stranded. Why? Because he wants to become a landlord. Because he wants to become a landlord. Just rest. Look at what there's a video I have on YouTube. I don't know if you can say that. It's called accidental investor. Build your business. You will own assets. Is Apple a real estate firm?
No.
Go to the annual report. Go and check the value of the real estate. Because all their stores, they own it. They own the stores. That's real estate. And there are times when there's something they call rainy day fund in business, where you want to have some cash reserves, and you say, let's have cash reserves in lands. And that time you don't go and buy land you go and buy farmland, you go and buy expanse of land, you just hold. That's why I say it's actually land bankers that sell to developers, not the other way around.
You spoke about grant earlier, and I remember one of your videos you said you once got grant and the grant grants you out of the business. So what do you tell entrepreneurs whereby their grants will not grant them out of the business?
You're not ready for money.
Okay.
That's just it. That's why I will forever envy rich kids, because there's already something they've instilled in you from small. You are comfortable around money. Don't despair yourself. As someone from one background, you are not comfortable with money. In fact, check it. You have money threshold. Go and check the range of money that lasts longer in your account. That's your financial threshold. If it's 50,000, that's any money that anybody dash you, it will come back 50,000. We have, all of us, and me too, I have. Right? So there's a way that as an entrepreneur you are not ready for money yet. That thing I say is a lie. If they give you today, that word will kill your business. So that's why I tell you sometimes, this money you can still make it. Be patient. Bootstrap it yourself. Use your sweat equity, like I say. Build it brick by brick. Go and do it the hard way, so that when you make the 10 million, you know the value. When someone brings 10 million to you now, he does not freak you. But at that time, I think it was how much? It wasn't really close money, maybe 1 million naira or something. I was employed staffs, open new space, but just because I just felt like there's this illusion of business that you want to prove to people that you are doing well in business instead of actually doing well. So you want to have glam, you want to have Instagram that I'm CEO.
I'm a CEO of this and
that. Chair in an office with you want AC to show, so that they know that you are not for what, to what end. So those were these mistakes I made then because I was not ready for the money. I did not know the value of this money then. But now when you give me some money, you are looking at what exactly is the content that this money should go to, not for the glam of the business. Right? So sometimes entrepreneurs are just not ready yet for investment. It's the reason why when you see some business pitches, they ask, how much have you invested in the business? They ask. Because if you've not invested some level of amount, or you've not made some amount of money, you can't know the value of the money we want to give to you. That's why I said some investors, they'll tell them that I'll give you this money, but I will come into your company as a member of the board so that I can monitor what you are doing.
All right. Finally, what advice would you give to young entrepreneurs for them to build a long-lasting success in their business?
I think I touched on it the other time where I talked about mentorship.
Mentorship?
Yeah. And also know that the business and you are two different entities.
Two different entities.
When you build your business like that, you build something that lasts. Because now, even you are accountable to the business. Let me tell you something. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn in business is that I have access to go and withdraw any money from the account. But I will wait until the accountant authorizes the payment. You don't understand. See, you think you have discipline until nobody's watching and until nobody can hold you accountable. It was not easy. I wouldn't like to say from the beginning that we started, I will still go back and withdraw. So I had to now say, if I want to grow, then I must subject this thing to this person. such that if as little as whatever it is that the company needs, I will write to the accountant that I'm paying salary to. Now, that I'm paying salary to is a wrong statement because it's the business that employs both of us. I'm also an employee in the business. She's also an employee. So the business is our boss. Because under the law, the business is a legal entity on its own. So the business, so when I write to her, she will now look at the business and say, can the business afford to pay us? But most times, both personal money and business money are daluni. So until we learn to separate that, both in decision making, in finance, and every other thing, the business is not going to last. Because that means when you are hyped up, the business go up. When you are low, the business come down. When you are, so the job is just, and before you know it,
Inflating. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, this is actually a wonderful section and I enjoyed every bit of it. I'm so sure you've been able to understand everything that entails about Adeshina Assets. You've been able, in this video, you would understand what capacity means, mastery, sweat, equity, and a whole lot of things you need to know as an entrepreneur. Please stay tuned and stay blessed. Until next time on Creative Mind. Bye.